Hello ladies, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Simone and I talk all things femininity. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the follicular phase. My last video was on the menstrual phase. And basically what I'm doing is I'm taking all the 4 phases of your menstrual cycle and dividing them into 4 separate videos. This way you can understand what's going on in your body, what you need to compensate for, and how you can just play into this energy that you're experiencing during the different phases. So like I said, this is going to be the follicular phase, and I'm breaking this video down into 6 sections just as I did with the last one. So the first section is going to be a quick overview of the phase. The second is going to be an overview of the hormones that are going on, how that affects your body, bringing us into section 3, which is all about the emotions and mental effects of these hormones at play. Okay, and then when I talk about that, I'm also going to bring in sections 4 and 5, which are nutrition and exercise, and that is really going to be the guide to honoring what your body is going through during this phase and how to play into that energy with the right nutrition and the right exercise. And finally, to bring us home, I'm going to talk about how to care for yourself on an emotional level during this phase, because I think that's the most important part of cycle syncing. It's a journey, and it's definitely a journey to self-discovery and experiencing yourself in all of these different phases, because your hormones are literally changing how you feel, how you act, how you present yourself in certain situations or relationships, all of it. So I think it's really important to learn how to care for yourself emotionally and make your own rituals for caring for yourself. So let's get to talking. I keep getting up and down because I got this tripod, which I love, because before I was stacking books and then putting my phone up. But I got this clicker and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So I'm just getting up and down. But anyways, enough blabber. Let's blabber into the important stuff. All right, so the follicular phase. A quick overview is that it actually is a part of the menstrual phase, which comes right before it. So right here's menstrual, right here's ovulatory, and then in between is the follicular. But there are different things that go on with your hormones, which is why they're dividing it into 3 separate phases. What happens during the follicular phase? So what's happening is that your follicles are beginning to grow even more, because they were starting to grow during the menstrual phase slightly, and now they're continuing to grow, and the uterine lining is also beginning to thicken again. This phase for most women lasts around 11 to 27 days, but it can also range from 10 to 35 days. Now I just want to mention that depending on a variety of factors like your age, your ethnicity, genetic factors, it could be a bunch of different things like your diet. The length of your menstrual cycle may be different from what I'm giving you. If you are concerned about it in any way, then I do recommend going to a gynecologist and asking their opinion on it, if it's regular, and yeah, take it from there. If your hormone cycle is regular to you, so if it is consistently 35 days every month, then that's perfect. But if it is, say, 35 days one month and then 25 days the next, and then you don't get it the next month, there's definitely something wrong with either your environment, maybe you're very stressed out. There's a multitude of reasons why your period may not be coming on the supposed time that it is supposed to. What you can take from that is that there's maybe something off in your environment or just in your day-to-day life that's causing you stress, and that's why you're maybe not getting your period on time. So this phase, including the menstrual cycle, takes place from days 1 to about 14. Again, it's unique to every single woman. I'm now going to provide you with some main focuses that you should take on during this phase, because you are very alert and very ambitious as compared to your luteal and menstrual phases. So let's talk about some focuses that you can take advantage of. On a physical level, you should be challenging yourself. This is the time to start new routines and actually stick to them. Do things that are outside of your comfort zone, go on runs, build your strength and your muscle. So strength training is great for this time. And just overall boosting your energy and partaking in any activity that is going to refuel you. Because we have a lot of energy to spend during our follicular phase since our body isn't working as hard as it would be in, say, the luteal phase. Also during this phase, it's important to acknowledge your emotions. So some emotional focuses that you should have are channeling your optimism into creative pursuits. This could literally be anything, but this is a great time to start new things. So if you want to start painting or you want to start your own business, this is a great time to draft up some ideas so that you can continue carrying it on throughout your follicular phase, ovulatory, and luteal. You have a lot of energy to spare during this time, so really drive it into whatever is calling to you. With that being said, this is also a great time for goal setting and starting new habits and meeting new people. You're feeling very ambitious during this time, so that is why these are some great focuses to have for your emotional and social settings. Now that I gave you all the main focuses, I'm going to explain what your hormones are doing and tie that into why you should be focusing on these things. So with your hormones, what's happening is estrogen is on the rise. That is when your uterine line begins to thicken. And also what happens when estrogen rises is that it also influences the rise of the luteinizing hormone, which is a key player in ovulation, but I'm going to save that for my next video. The other hormone at play is the follicle stimulating hormone, also known as FSH. FSH increases at the beginning of your cycle. At the menstrual phase, this is when FSH begins to rise slightly because it is stimulating the development of ovarian follicles. So now that we know what's happening on a hormonal level, let's get into how that affects your emotions and your mental health. High estrogen during your follicular phase means an improved mood. During this phase, you might feel like you have a better mood because high estrogen actually affects serotonin production, which is also known as the happy hormone. And also what estrogen affects is the brain's reward system. You might feel more ambitious and you might want to get more things done and set more things up for yourself. So overall, you'll just feel more motivated and goal-oriented during the follicular phase. And I think that's awesome. And that's why I gave you those mental focuses and emotional focuses to have during this time, because it is a great time to take advantage of your goal orientation and your focus. Let's get into nutrition. So with your nutrition, you want to have some light foods that still support your energy and hormone balance. During this follicular phase, your body is not working as hardly as it would be in, say, the luteal or menstrual phase, so you don't need as much food as you would in those phases. But you still want to prioritize lean protein, complex carbs, leafy greens, fruits and veggies, healthy fats, and also fermented foods if you want that extra gut health to go with it. Some iron-rich foods are red meat, spinach, broccoli, kale, legumes. Iron-rich foods are very important to prioritize during this phase because if you remember from my last video on the menstrual phase, you are losing a lot of blood, which means you're losing a lot of iron. So it is key to focus on replenishing that lost iron during your menstrual phase and your follicular phase. Also, what helps with iron absorption is citrus. So if you can pair your food with an orange or a grapefruit, or even just add on some lemon juice to your meal, that's perfect. Next up, we have lean proteins. These are key in supporting tissue repair and sustaining your energy throughout the day. You can have chicken, turkey, tofu, fatty fish, and eggs. These are all great for really keeping you satisfied after each meal. Moving on to our complex carbs, we have whole grains. These are things like quinoa, oats, millet, and brown rice. Also, we have sweet potatoes. Complex carbs are very important to incorporate into your diet during this time because they are key players in the regulation of your blood sugar levels, aka your mood. Moving on to healthy fats, we have avocados, fatty fish, pumpkin seeds, flax seeds, and almonds. Healthy fats are very healthy for you in general, regardless of your sex, but having it as a woman during this time and during your whole cycle is very beneficial for your hormones. Next up, we have our colorful fruits and veggies. So pretty much any organic vegetable or fruit is great to have because they are light and they are packed with antioxidants, nutrients, and minerals. One mineral that I want you to focus on incorporating into your diet during this time is zinc, and that is because it regulates the production of your FSH and your LH hormones. Foods that are high in zinc are pumpkin seeds, spinach, and oysters. I've never made a dish with oysters. I don't think I've even tried oysters, but the fact that they have zinc in it, it just makes me want to try it. All right. I almost forgot to give you the list of supplements to take if you want to, but the most important thing is definitely your actual diet. So if you're not getting the nutrients from your diet, then definitely change it up so that you are, because your diet is key. But if you want the added benefit of having some supplements, then these are some good ones to take during your follicular phase. Vitamin B6, vitamin D, vitamin E, your omega-3s, and also antioxidants. Right? I feel like this video is just flying by. The last one was so long. I mean, rightfully so, because so many things go on in the menstrual phase. But let's get into exercise. Like I was saying with your mood, your estrogen is on a steady increase, and because of that, you will have more energy to spend and you will want to spend it, is the thing. And also what increased estrogen during this time does is that it increases your physical performance. So not only does it affect you on a mental level, but also on a physical level where your biology is wired to have your muscles perform better during this time. And this is why your workouts might feel a little bit more effortless. So because of that, you can challenge yourself a bit more. And some great workouts to do are ones that are high intensity. So you have HIIT, you have cardio, weight training, resistance training with resistance bands. Those are my favorites. And also hardcore Pilates and hot yoga. Those are all great for this phase. Let's wrap up this video by talking about how to care for yourself on an emotional level. So as I was saying, this kind of will tie into the focuses that I planned out for you in the beginning of this video, but on caring for yourself emotionally during the follicular phase, be highly engaging with your community, your friends, your family. This is a great time to be a little social butterfly. This is also a great time to put in your creative energy into things that you want to start up. So this will feel very rewarding for you, again, because of your brain's reward system being heightened right now. But when you have some goals planned out for you and you actually take on those goals, that will feel amazing for you and it will give back to your energy. Starting new habits is great. Start a new workout, start a new diet, start a new mental health journey, start some creative projects. And also, this is a great time to tackle those challenging tasks that you might have. This was the one practice that I incorporated into my follicular phase that really helped me, because during my luteal and during my menstrual phase, that time allowed me to have a break when I really needed it. So if you have anything that you predict might become too overwhelming for you during your luteal phase, when you don't really have any extra energy to spend, then I would highly recommend doing that work during your follicular phase and your ovulatory phase. With that being said, that's all that I have for you in this video. That one felt a lot shorter, and during this time, really just remember what those main focuses were. If you have to, go to the beginning of this video and take care of yourself on a physical level with your nutrition and your exercise. Those two things are key to cycle syncing. And once you get a hold of them, I think it will change your life. And I hope it does, and I hope you take this into consideration and implement these practices into your life. Happy cycling, and I will see you all in my next video on the ovulatory phase.